All right, Rob Liefeld, thank you so much for
Sure.
taking the time to sit here and talk with CGC. First question I'd like to ask you is, you broke into comics at a very young age. How were you able to accomplish that?
You know what? I just knew that I was never going to do anything else from a young age. I was not built for anything but comics. So I was always looking at comics and going to shows and listening to other professionals and just honing my craft. And I was very fortunate that, age 18, hired out of high school.
And
So-
you were self-taught as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, actually, most guys, most comic book artists, especially going back then, were self-taught. So, yeah, I mean, there was no comic academy, especially in Southern California.
Well, at 18 is an impressive age to be breaking into the business.
You know, desperation pays off.
The question I've been most excited to ask you is, you created Deadpool,
Yes.
which is such a huge fan favorite. How did your genius brain come up with the idea of Deadpool?
You know what? I wanted to do like a bad version of Spider-Man, and I made him a mercenary because when I was a kid, I loved Boba Fett. And so introducing him into the New Mutants with my first issue, I wanted to have a character that made a lot of impact and took Cable, who was my previous character that had blown up. I needed to have a character that took him down in the team. So that was kind of like the Boba Fett aspect of it, the mercenary, the bounty hunter. And then with Deadpool, it was just like, what if Spider-Man was an even bigger a-hole and had guns and swords instead of web shooters? And it's worked out.
Deadpool has become so huge.
I see a ton of them around in every show I go to. There's tons of kids and older people, rocking the costume. Yep.
Asking you to take pictures, and they're dressed up in their Deadpool outfits. I hear you're a big movie buff. What are a couple of your all-time favorites?
Oh man, I think. Oh my gosh. Well, what's come out recently? I mean, I always kind of like go with whatever the last movie I saw was.
I heard American Sniper was good.
American Sniper is fantastic. I was like gripped the whole movie. I didn't really anticipate it'd be like a sniper versus sniper movie. That's not a spoiler. It's really good. But even like Boyhood and Birdman. I mean, like my family, I told them to go see Birdman, and they got mad at me because it's too uppity or too smart for them. I don't know which. Sorry, family. But I like the interesting artsy stuff. The older I get, the less I like the popcorn stuff, and the more I like the weird stuff.
When you start to draw a character and your pencil is about to hit the paper, what's the first part of the character that you draw?
Always the face. I start with the face and then work down the rest of the body. But I generally have a good idea with the design when I'm doing it.
And what is your most memorable moment of your career?
Oh man, I probably top three are taking over New Mutants and introducing Deadpool and Cable, then spinning that off into X-Force, and then starting Image Comics. Those were like, and those kind of happened in like a 2-year space, but it was like, it blew up comics and changed everything, and it was a lot of fun. And I was doing it with a lot of fun friends too, so it wasn't something I was doing alone.
You've had a really impressive career.
Well, it's been a fun one, 28 years.
Last but not least, how about them Lakers?
Yeah, they're having a bad season. But you know what? I tell everybody this because people try and talk crap to me, but I'm like, we hung 5 banners in 10 years, so you get a little satiated. I feel for like the clubs that don't get anything, but we'll be back. The Lakers.
Are you gonna miss Kobe?
He's never leaving. He's never leaving.
You heard it here first.
That's right. That's what he told me.
This is Rob Liefeld. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to CGC.
You bet. Thank you.